Well, come in, Cassadine. Make it snappy.
If Leslie Lou had never been sick, I might never have met any of you. But she was, and I saved her life. Then I met the mother who abandoned me.
Now get to the point, you crybaby.
Cowboy,
Come
Let
on.
him talk. Let him talk.
Please.
Let him talk.
She said that she saw a light in me. She was afraid that I might be corrupted by the Cassadines, and on the other hand, my uncle said that I was being manipulated, but I didn't believe him. And I began to turn my back on everything that I ever believed in. But you two made it very clear that you hated me, but I didn't care. I don't care. All I wanted in my heart was my mother's approval and her undying love. Then one night at your club, I found out that she was dead.
You don't have a clue. You were so lost in your self-pity, man. You want to know the truth? You weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, but I was. And it was an added bonus for you because you got to see the look on my face and you loved it.
You don't even know.
Of course I do. It made your revolting scheme all that more convincing. No one would purposely deceive Laura's own son with a lie like that. It would be too perverted. You made me believe my mother was dead. I actually felt sorry for you and for your loss. But since then, I've learned a few things about you, Spencers. You people, you spout off and you parade around about truth and about honor, but in your little family rule book, it only applies to everyone else. See, when it comes to yourselves, you lie and you scam about everything, no matter who you hurt. But you know what? You people make me sick, all of you, except for my baby sister. But I'm sure you'll find a way to ruin her, too.
Thank you for stopping by. Come on back when you get the facts straight.
I speak the truth, Spencer. You ought to try it sometime. Yes.
Laura's mother.
Is she all right?
She will be. Grandma, come on, we're gonna go upstairs, okay?
Who is that boy?
Grandma. He's nobody, okay? He's nobody. Come on.
He looks... It's not. He has a mouth. Like my Laura. I want to know who he is.
My name is Nicholas Cassadine.
And you are Laura's son.
Those years. I thought you might want to know that it wasn't in vain.
How much progress has she made?
Well, Audrey Hardy came to visit and they were reminiscing about their past. And, my mother remembered something. She actually spoke. It was very hopeful.
Then she's communicating.
No, not exactly, but, she has lucid moments.
Well, you didn't come here to catch me up on your mother's medical breakthroughs. So why don't you tell me why you're really here?
All right. I need you to understand how important it is for my mother to be in a safe place.
In other words, you're asking me for protection from Helena?
The feud between our families has got to stop. I am asking you to help me to do that.
So, you want me to protect you from me?
I thought we could work together.
I don't think so.
Oh, God, I know I hurt you. I'm sorry. But please, try to put yourself in my shoes. I thought my mother was dead. And then I found out that she was alive and in Cassadine hands, and I reacted impulsively. I didn't know what else to do.
I thought we had reached a new place, Lasha. I had hoped we could build something. You and I and Nicholas. The night I took you to your mother. The night of your grand deception. I opened all the doors of my heart to you. Do you remember what you did?
I kissed you.
Like Judas. I thought it was a kiss of gratitude. Understanding. Even I dared dream love. But you knew what it was. It was a kiss of farewell. Like this. You kissed me like that. And walked into a building that exploded only seconds later. Did you ever wonder what that was like for me? Watching that building explode again and again, thinking you were inside?
Of course I did. I felt for you.
You felt for me? Well, let me tell you what I felt. An overpowering desire to save you. A surge of energy that sent me rushing toward a burning building. Then a second explosion, hotter, more violent than the first, threw me to the ground. The building was an inferno. I knew there was no way you nor Leslie had survived. I was devastated.
I'm sorry. With all my heart.
And what if I'd made it into that building? And died trying to save your life? And left Nicholas with no one? Or was that part of your plan as well?
No.
You knew the building was going to explode?
No, not exactly. There was a signal when I first got there. So I knew that there was some kind of a plan in motion, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
When did it begin?
What?
The deception. I want to know precisely when you set out to destroy me.
Oh, God, what does it matter now?
All right. I'll guess. Luke planting drugs on Nicholas. Surely that had something to do with it. Your hoax of a marital separation. What else? Oh, yes. The threat on my life. You lied to me. You plotted against me. You maligned me to the world. And then you did the one thing you knew would hurt me most. You kissed me and died. And left your firstborn son motherless. And I will not wipe away this betrayal.
Nice to meet you.
Nicholas. All of Laura's children are beautiful. And strong. And healthy.
Thanks to me. I'm sorry. I should go. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I want to tell you something
about.
Save it, all right?
Listen to me, okay? My mother never wanted to leave you. I don't care what you think about me or my father. I really don't care. But you're wrong to think that my mother doesn't care. She cares about you.
You made me believe my mother was dead, Lucky.
That's what she thought she had to do. Give her a break, man. That's what we all thought. Think you're the only one that got hurt here, Nikki? Huh? My grandmother has been hurting for a long, long time. Just think about that. Just think about that for 1 second. Maybe all this will make a little more sense to you.
Leslie? Leslie, that boy's name is Cassadine. Nicholas Cassadine. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Don't you remember? The Cassadines kept you locked up for years, away from your family, away from your life, from your work, your daughters, your grandchildren.
No.
Can you remember any of that?
No remembering. No remembering. No.
Leslie, Stefan Cassadine did something to you. Reach back, please. Reach back. What did he do? What did he do to you, Leslie? Okay.
Have you ever taken inventory
Inventory? I don't know what you mean.
on our relationship? Assessed what I've done for you, what you've done for me. I have quite a few points in my column. Arranging for Nicholas to save your daughter's life, reuniting mother and son, saving your other son's life in the bog. I saved your mother's life and kept her alive all these years and raised your son. And your column? Nothing.
All right. Do you want to build a case against me? Go ahead. You can. But I know you better than you think. And everything that you've done has been because you wanted something back. And that's why you're angry. Because you didn't get what you wanted. So please don't stand here pretending to be magnanimous. Because you have kept the feud between our families going by using mothers and children and life and death in some kind of a demented game that you insist on playing with my husband. You have become a monster. You're cruel. You're calculating.
Go on.
I didn't mean that. I came here to make things better, I swear.
But I won't let you.
Why not?
Because I'm a monster. Isn't that right? No compassion, no honor, no conscience, and no forgiveness.
Oh, it's in there. Come on, give me something to work with.
I'm not ready for this, okay?
Leslie! I'm sorry. Thanks, Les. What happened out there?
Well, I stuck up for Mom. He didn't buy it. It's just not right.
Yeah.
Luke, it's Tony. Have you got a minute?
What's on your mind, Tony?
Stefan Cassadine and who shot Catherine Bell?
She was staring at me.
I had a great deal of my life learning to control my emotions. The one feeling I could never conquer was my love for you. Until now.
Hating me isn't the answer.
And why not? Because you wanted to use me one last time? Never again.
Stefan, please.
You know, you think the Cassadines are so vicious and so horrible. And from your perspective, that may be true. But never, never have we traded on love and feelings the way you have. There are names for women like you. But mark me, and mark me well. I will not allow you to come here and whore your way out of taking responsibility for the damage you've done.
You bastard.
Need Doc Bro, ex-in-law.
Oh, an answer. Do you know that Stefan Cassadine shot Catherine Bell? Or is it just wishful thinking?
Well, Lulu should be awake soon. You know what I was thinking, Grandma? I was thinking maybe you should just kind of hold Lulu, you know? I think maybe that would help. In fact, you know, you could hold her while Mom's fixing dinner.
Laura?
Yes, Laura. Your daughter, my mother.
Where's Laura?
Grandma, it's okay. All right? She's gonna be back home soon.
You know, you think the Cassadines are so vicious and so horrible. And from your perspective, that may be true. But never, never have we traded on love and feelings the way you have. There are names for women like you. But mark me, and mark me well. I will not allow you to come here and whore your way out of taking responsibility for the damage you've done.
You bastard.
Oh. Don't let me interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that changes everything, doesn't it? Tell me something in your whole life. Has there ever been anything that I'm sorry couldn't fix? Well, there is now. Go. And don't come back.
No, no. Not yet. Please stay.
I've admitted that I was wrong. Don't know what more I can say.
But then why are you here? To cause more pain? Fortunately, Nicholas isn't at home. It's just Stefan and me, and we're pretty much invulnerable by now.
I never wanted to hurt my son.
Well, I'll tell him that. I'm sure it's going to make him feel a lot better.
Are you enjoying this? Does it make you feel superior? I did everything wrong, Bobby. Everything. But at the time, I thought I was protecting my mother.
From Stefan?
Helena!
He is the reason she is alive.
Helena would have killed her! I know better than anyone what that woman is capable of. My mother's condition is not the result of the accident. She has been drugged for years, and that's not because of Helena. Your husband is responsible for that.
Prove it.
What?
I'm a nurse. I can read a toxicology report. Show me one shred of evidence that says Stefan was drugging Leslie.
Tom hasn't been able to identify the specific chemical
I'll
yet.
take that as a no.
Look, according to your husband, my mother's been unreachable for years. But she is improving now. She knows me. And pretty soon she's going to be able to tell me exactly what happened to her.
Then what is your problem with Stefan? He's the reason she's alive.
Oh, for God's sake. What, you think he did it out of the goodness of his heart? He's using her, just like he's using you. All these choices that you think you've made are all part of some grand plan of his. The goal, I don't understand. I never have. But I do know something, Bobby. If you don't get away from him, he will hurt you.
You know, you sound just like Luke. Just as irrational, just as pathetic. Why don't you just go?
Fine. Fine. But you understand this. He's only shown you what he wants you to see. You can't begin to understand who this man is.
Do I know if Stefan shot Blondie? Yes, I do. Can I prove it? No. Not until she remembers. Correction, until she admits she remembers.
So she's covering up for him.
Yeah. I went to visit her right after I got back to town. Guess who was already there, hovering around her hospital bed like the Grim Reaper? She remembers Cassadine shot her, but for some reason she isn't saying so. Why do you care?
Because it's something to use against him. I'm going to file for custody of Lucas, because I will not have my son living on an island where people get shot and Stefan Cassadine controls everything.
I understand. Hey, do you think Bobby would leave him if it meant it was the only way to hold on to Lucas?
I don't know.
Neither do I, but it's worth a try. Well, if it shakes her free of him, go for it.
Look, I want to be clear about this. I'm not doing this for Bobby. I'm doing it for Lucas.
Fine. You know, I'm only interested in results. Tony, if you think you got a chance, go for it.
Well, surprise is the only weapon I have, actually. I don't want Bobby and Stefan to find out and take Lucas out of the country. And that's why no one can know until I'm ready to file suit, so I need your word on this.
They'll not hear it from me.
Right. Meanwhile, I wait and I pray that
Lucas is in any immediate physical danger. Bobby, however, is another matter. As soon as he's through using her, it won't be hard for her to have a very nasty accident.
Okay. That's okay. You're home. Let's go visit with Grandma till Mom gets home, okay? You know who Grandma is, don't you? Huh? Look, she's got a pretty flower. Yeah.
She looks like the other boy.
Huh?
She does.
Her eyes are the same color as my mom's.
She looks like him.
Well, she has dark hair, but that's about it.
Nicholas. Why? Thanks to him. What did he do?
Lulu got sick last summer, okay? I mean, she was just really sick, okay? And it didn't look like she was gonna make it. And he gave her his bone marrow, all right? That's it. It was pure luck on his part.
He's a good boy. Like you.
You look surprised. Did you expect me to stay at the house and comfort my wife?
Hardly.
You know, Barbara has a tendency to overstate the obvious. But she's right. Your apologies are repetitious and ineffective.
I was protecting my mother.
Oh, yes. And she's safe now. And having lucid moments. But the price was very high, Lasha. A debt is owed. One of many.
What do you want?
The truth. They say it sets you free. All these years, I've kept silent for your sake. But now it's clear you hate us. And my silence is finished. You call me a monster. But no monster would ever do what you did to your son. He grieved for you. He wept at your grave. Real tears, unlike yours. You told Nicholas you loved him, made him believe, and then threw him away as if he were nothing. The lies you told me. the false kiss goodbye. Well, those things I could overlook. But you hurt your son knowingly, deliberately. And for that, so help me God, I will make you pay.
I am paying. He rejected me. He told me that I was dead to him. That's burned in my memory. I'll carry it with me for the rest of my life. What more could you possibly want?
I think you know.
You can't. But there's no need. All right. If my mother recovers...
Do you think I care what happens to your mother?
If she recovers, I promise you she will not press charges no matter what she remembers.
It doesn't matter what she remembers. I can take the one thing you've ever valued. I can make you lose your love forever.
No, please, please.
Please. Such a pretty word. But so useless. But I loved you once. And I'll give you this. I won't speak yet. And I'll warn you before I do.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mistake it for kindness. I can tell the truth whenever I need to. Until then, remember, your happiness comes at my mercy. Is Lucas asleep?
Just about. I read him Prince Ivan and then turned out the light, but he asked me to tell you goodnight.
He didn't hear then?
No, he didn't even know Laura was in the house.
Well, that's a relief. I raised my voice a few times. I didn't want to frighten him. Or you.
Well, what I said to her was a lot worse. Not half of what she deserved. I just don't understand her. Why would she come here after the way she hurt? Did I tell you? I slapped her the first time I saw her.
No. You neglected to mention that.
I think I was embarrassed. Are you shocked?
Flattered. No one has ever stood by me the way you do.
You're a good man, Stefan.
And you. Not only do you grace my home, but you fill my life and defend my honor. And I thank you.
Anytime. Laura doesn't know who you are.
Please.
Catherine Bell does, though. A little, anyway. She told me how you helped her.
Did she?
Well, I was in her room earlier today, and actually your name came up. Actually, I asked about you, and she told me how understanding you've been, and how you visited her, and how you helped her keep her spirits up. She said that for a long time she didn't know who you were.
Well, I thought she might have guessed. I mean, friend. Someone who was concerned, yet detached.
Oh, well, you do detached really well.
So I'm told.
And what you did for Catherine was wonderful. I just wish you'd told me about it.
Well, maybe I was embarrassed. I mean, after all, the incident occurred here. Every time I tried to help, I made a mess of things. Remember Dr. Seberg?
That was an honest mistake.
Well, even so, I thought it better not to let people know that I was still interfering with Catherine's recovery. But you're right. I should have told you, and I'm sorry.
For what? For showing me why I married you all over again? You are so generous, so kind.
So arrogant and detached.
But not from me.
No. never from you.
Oh, Lulu. Where is everybody, baby?
Hey, Grant.
Well, it's getting on dinner time. What do you say to some pizza?
It's cool with me. How are you? Hey, I got Grandma to speak a little while you were gone.
Really? What about?
Nicholas. She said Lulu looked like him. I mean, she's got dark hair, but come on. Anyway, I explained to her about, Lulu getting sick, and pretty sure she understood. I don't know, man. I can't help but think about that once in a while. Grandma seemed to like him, though.
Grandma ain't playing with a full deck. There's Mom. Hey, about 10 more minutes and I was going to send out the cops for you.
I'm fine.
Well, you missed it, Mom. Something happened here.
What? Something with my mother?
Sort of. Nicholas showed up.
What?
She spoke to him. Later, I got her to talk to me and Lulu.
Yeah. You were right, babe. Leslie's on her way back. I saw it there for a minute. She's on her way back. She's going to remember it. She'll be able to testify against Stefan.
No. What would be the point in that? My God, he'd hire 100 lawyers and he'd end up going free. And he'd be more angry than he is right now. I mean, don't provoke him. We have an awful lot to lose.
You're not going to lose. We can't lose. Honey, look what we've been through already, and we're still together, right?
I finally understand why Catherine's recovery is so important to you. It's not just because she was shot on your property. It's because what happened to her is a result of our families hating one another. Her paralysis wasn't just caused by Luke. It was caused by you and me and Laura. We all did it to her.
Not you, Barbara. Out of everyone, you kept an open mind. You believed in coexistence so completely you actually married me.
My motives were much more selfish than that.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. But still, you're right. Catherine Bell is in a wheelchair because of a long, terrible chain of events for which I am partly responsible. And it'll never be over until she's as whole as the night she came to this island.
I think that's going to happen. Tony's releasing her in a couple of days, and she can continue with the physical therapy at home, but from what I hear, she's making great progress.
Well, I should stop in and say goodbye. I doubt I'll see her again once she goes home.
I suppose you could call.
Never mind. Catherine Bell can continue to make progress without any more encouragement from me. Besides, I would rather concentrate on my beautiful, loyal, loving wife.
Oh, well, good. I could handle that.
So, how hungry are you?
Dad said we could just order pizza.
Great, great. Would you get a few slices of vegetarian for Lulu and me?
No problem.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and order? I'm gonna get her changed for bed and check on my mom.
Sure.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, we're all together and my mom is getting better and you're right, the hard part is all over now.
Okay.
Sweetheart. big mistake tonight. Stefan is so angry. We could lose everything. Absolutely everything. Lulu's fast asleep. Like he was so tired he fell asleep with his clothes on, and my mother seems to have fallen asleep in her chair.
Don't tell me it's just us.
I know, it's a miracle, isn't it?
Well, don't stand there, woman. Grab a husband. Pull up a husband and let's get it on. Oh, baby. What?
No. I love you.
I love you too, Angel.
You know, it's been so crazy these last few months. I just hope you know how much I appreciate everything that you've done for my mother and for me and all of us. I mean, I don't know what we'd do without you.
I don't want to look a gift bunny in the mouth, but... Are you stroking me? Why?
You're not too suspicious, are you? I was just leading up to a romantic moment. I mean, I understand if you're not in the mood.
Hey, whoa. That'll be the day. But you're trying to handle me, baby. Why?
Okay, fine. You've been a lousy husband. You brought nothing but misery to all of our lives. Is that better?
Well, you know, that's the way a lot of people would have read this story.
Well, it shows how much they know, doesn't it?
Honey, do you ever miss us? I mean, you're just, you know, you and me. No dog. No kids, just you and me in the open road.
Yeah, sure I do.
And do you ever feel strangled by the choices we've made?
No, No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, maybe our lives are different than what they would have been, or even from what we planned, but I still love being your wife more than anything in the world. I hope you always believe that.
Or what?
I can take the one thing you've ever valued. I can make you lose your love forever.
Laura, what are you trying to tell me?
Baby, everything's fine. Really?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yeah. It's all tucked in, fast asleep. Sleep of the innocent.
You want a sip of this?
Okay. What are you watching?
I'm not sure. Tell me something. When did Brooke Shields become a comedian? Did I sleep through that particular glitch in American history?
Her hair looks a little strange, don't you think?
Who am I to criticize other people's hair? So are you ready to come clean?
I'm not sure what you mean.
What are you afraid of, honey?
Losing you.
That won't happen. Laura.
Please.
Me?
I really messed up this time. I'm
played it all wrong with Stefan. He's so angry now, there's no telling what he might do.
So, this does have to do with Stefan then, huh?
Oh, it's probably... No, it's also the preliminary hearing tomorrow and you having to defend yourself on these bogus charges. I mean, it's making me tired, you know? I feel like no matter what we do, this curse just never ends.
Honey, it will end. As soon as Leslie remembers those lost years, we'll be rid of the Cassadines forever. Stefan is not a permanent condition.
I'm so glad that Luke insisted I stay home with you. I thought that I should have gone to the preliminary hearing, but I guess he is lucky for moral support. Want something to eat? You take very good care of me. I've always loved your smile.
Hi. Any coffee left? I know that voice. It's Monica, isn't it?
Laura's reluctant to leave her mother, but if we need her testimony, she can be here in 15 minutes.
No, Laura's not really necessary for these proceedings. But if Dara decides to take this to the grand jury, that's when we'll need Laura.
At this point, it's only Cassadine's word against Luke's, isn't it?
For Catherine Bell's shooting, yes, but for trespassing and threatening Stefan Cassadine with a gun, that's another matter.
Hi, Leslie.
Monica?
Sit down. Oh, thank you. Audrey told me about her visit with you.
But you wanted to check me out for yourself.
Can you blame me? Actually, I was supposed to be at the hospital this morning, but I am waiting on a verdict for a very unpleasant case that I'm involved in, and I woke up and I thought, I don't want to go to work. I'd rather be with a friend. So I hope I have one here.
Of course you do.
I'm so sorry. I was so rough on you. God knows I am the last person in the world to pass judgment.
Well, things certainly have changed around here, if you actually believe that.
Now, there's a reaction I haven't heard out of her yet.
I think we probably bring out the best in each other. Well, you've got to be really happy to have her back.
More than you know. I really hated having to lie to all of you.
I know. And life throws us some really hard choices at times. I mean, either you hit the mark or you miss it, but no matter what, your friend should understand. Or if they can't understand, then at least they should back you up. Laura, your secret had to come out sometime. And believe me, I've learned that no matter how bad the truth is, it's much more preferable than living a lie.
I don't know. I think there are some secrets that should never be revealed.
Is there something wrong?
Under your care for several months now, Dr. Hardy. How would you describe her condition?
Well, when we found her, Dr. Weber was in a near catatonic state induced by some powerful drugs that have been given to her over the course of many, many years. She has lost her memory, ability to communicate, relate to people or environment. I mean, other than a few isolated instances, she's lost her cognitive powers.
Well, how is she now?
Oh, there's been some improvement in her lucid moments. A little more frequent, last a little longer, but I can't say that she's ever going to be herself again. At this point, she can't remember or recall her years under Mr. Cassadine's care.
Now, how did you happen to become involved in this case?
What was done to Dr. Weber was medically, ethically wrong. Mr. Cassadine's care deprived her of family, friends, profession, years of her life.
We are here to get the facts, Dr. Hardy, not a sermon. But thank you for your time. Moving along. I have an affidavit here from Catherine Bell saying that she has no memory of who shot her. And since there were no witnesses to this incident, we will have to pull whatever information we have and see where that leads. Mrs. Cassadine, you were on the island the night Catherine Bell was shot.
Yes.
Were you also present when your brother held your husband at gunpoint and threatened to kill him?
Yes. It was one of the worst moments of my life, seeing Luke point that gun at Stefan.
It says here you actually put yourself between the two men in order to protect your husband.
Yes, that's right.
Did you believe even for a moment that your brother might kill the both of you?
No, I didn't.
Well, did you think your brother meant to shoot your husband or just to frighten him? Mrs. Cassadine?
Maybe it was only an act. But at the time, it seemed very real to all of us. And the tension wasn't broken until Lucky arrived and convinced his father to give him the gun.
Did you feel that your life was in danger, Mr. Cassadine?
Well, if a man trespasses on my property and holds me at gunpoint, yes, I'd be apt to feel that way.
Well, what happened after Mr. Spencer relinquished the weapon?
Lucky threw the gun down on the rocks, and then the two of them left. Barbara went on ahead to the house to check on her son, Lucas, and I started after her.
Did you make it back to the house?
No. That's when I heard the shot. I ran back and discovered a woman lying on the ground, unconscious and bleeding. I only learned later who it was.
Well, did you see Luke Spencer or anyone else around?
No. But I was so concerned with Miss Bell, I didn't really check.
Do you have any idea why Luke Spencer would shoot Catherine Bell?
None.
If Luke Spencer did pull the trigger, why do you suppose he would implicate himself by leaving the murder weapon behind?
I couldn't speculate on Mr. Spencer's motives for anything.
Fine. Would you like to tell us what happened?
I'd love to, except I have a small problem. I wasn't there.
Well, I was there. And there's a few things I'd like to say about it. I haven't.
Well, Miss Bell, take my place by all means.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. It's a special day trip.
Well, we heard a summary of your affidavit.
Now you can hear it directly. There are a few points that I'd like to clarify. And I have one question.
What is it?
What happens if I remember the person who shot me?
Sit. There you go.
Where did Laura go?
Oh, hey, it's okay. She just went up to check on Leslie Lou. It's all right.
I just get the feeling there's something bothering her, even though she says there isn't.
Laura worries, you know, all the time. About everybody.
It's because that she cares so much. You know, she would do anything to keep her family safe.
I wish I could help her. So many years, just lost.
What, you mean the years that you were away from Port Charles?
I wanted to remember. I don't want Laura to have to worry about me.
That's okay. It's okay, Mom. I like that too.
Laura, is your family still in danger?
Are you saying you remember who shot you, Miss Bell?
No, unfortunately, I don't. Not yet. I want to know if there's a time limit. I know if the memory comes to me tomorrow, let's say, that it won't be a problem legally, but what if it's 6 months or a year or even 5 years from now?
Well, we'd probably still have a case. There's a 5-year statute of limitations on attempted murder.
Is that what the charge would be?
It could be, depending on the circumstances and your memory.
Well, if Ms. Bell has no more questions or comments, I would like to move that the charges against my client, Luke Spencer, be dropped.
You are jumping the gun, Mr. Ward.
No pun intended, I'm sure, Miss Jensen. We have been sitting here very patiently listening to these proceedings. My client has been very cooperative since his arrest. But the time has come, Miss Jensen, to either move forward with this or drop it. No new evidence has come to light. There is no proof that Mr. Spencer returned to the island. No one saw him after he left with his son. Any motive he may have had for killing Mr. Cassadine to avenge his wife's death was certainly undermined by her appearance alive, and that certainly supports Mr. Spencer's claim that the entire episode on the island was a staged event. No matter how ill-advised, he certainly never intended anyone to get hurt.
Well, thank you for your informative summary, Mr. Ward. However, there is still a good deal of circumstantial evidence against Mr. Spencer.
Enough to take to a grand jury and get an indictment?
No. Without a positive ID and more concrete evidence, I have no choice but to drop the charges against Mr. Spencer.
I'd like to say one more thing.
Of course.
Even though I don't remember exactly what happened to me, I have always known that it's possible that I'm sitting in this chair for a very stupid reason. Because of some ancient feud between two families. And it's time it stopped. And I think that I have earned the right to say that. And if I can't remember what happened to me, I think everybody else should try to forget.
Well, I applaud the sentiment, Miss Bell, but, Mr. Cassadine still has the right to press charges against Mr. Spencer for threatening his life and trespassing.
Well, you know, Ms. Bell's presence here today came as a surprise, as does the fact that she's anticipated the Cassadine family position. We're willing to offer a deal.
We're willing to listen.
I won't press charges against Mr. Spencer under the following conditions. That no member of the Spencer family ever trespasses on Cassadine property again, nor publicly smears the Cassadine name. If either of these conditions are violated, we will seek to reopen this case.
Does that mean we can leave this town?
Actually, no. I'd like to add a condition to the ones mentioned. I'd like you to stick around for a while until you get clearance from this office. Other members of your family are free to come and go, of course.
So what you're saying is the charges are dropped, but I'm still a suspect.
My intention is to give Miss Bell a chance to heal before you disappear.
Luke, I think it's a good deal for a while.
Whatever.
Thank you all for coming this morning, and a special thanks to you, Miss Bell.
I can't believe my uncle went along with you like that. It was all set to go after Luke.
I can be very persuasive.
Yeah, I know. Hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Since they're all making deals here, I got one for you. I want you to ask my mother to let me see my grandmother Leslie again.
A deal, huh?
Yeah.
Deal goes two ways, in case you hadn't heard.
I know that my end is to help her. Come on, you saw what happened. I got through to her.
You want to help? Right? Move back to Greece.
Oh, I get it. I get it. What Catherine just said doesn't count. Neither does my uncle not pressing charges against your father, because nothing's changed. So what if I can help Leslie? Because it's still all the same with you. It's all about who wins. Well, congratulations. Your daddy taught you well.
You all right with that nonsense?
I just want to get home and tell Mom what happened. That's good.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
For what?
Remaining neutral?
I'm gonna take Catherine back to the hospital in the private ambulance.
All right. Before you do, I'd like to have a word with her. Excuse me.
Saga came over for a visit.
Do you remember her, Grandma?
She's hard to forget.
Oh, sounds like a good visit. I wish I'd been here.
It was.
Good.
My sweet, good boy.
Honey, I wish I could tell you that this is over. But it isn't. Stefan's got something up his sleeve. I just can't figure out what it is.
It's wonderful to see you outside of the hospital.
It was a little scary at first, my first time out. But I had to come here. I had to make sure the right thing happened.
I appreciate what didn't happen.
I'm sure that's true. But now it's over, and you can go back to your wife and family, and hopefully stop wasting precious time feuding with the Spencers. For Nicholas' sake, if not for your own.
Catherine, you are absolutely remarkable.
Yes, remarkably forgetful. But maybe that's best for all of us. Well, if you'll excuse me, I think my chariot awaits.
Well, come along to help.
Sure.
And I'll see you at the car.
All right.
Grandma just said Monica Quartermain is a horse's ass.
You didn't. Did I? I don't remember.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
That was great.
Unbelievable.
Everything okay? You've been so quiet over here.
Oh, honey. I just keep thinking with Blondie as Cassadine's latest winged monkey, we're probably in for all kinds of creative harassment, and I can't get Bobby off my mind.
You know what, Dad? Do you think we could just get through 5 minutes without talking about the Cassadines? Or is that too much trouble, huh?
So what went down between you and the Cassadine kid?
The usual. He insulted me, and then he insulted my family name.
What does he want?
He wanted to know how Grandma was doing, and he wants to see her again.
Bad idea.
I know.
It's a trap.
A trap?
Think about it. Think about it.
Let me go to my room.